Good morning, everyone. Uh, it is 11 a.m. Central European summertime on the dot. So let's kick off because we wouldn't be a German company without starting on time. Um, First of all, I just want to say welcome to everyone that is here, um, from our customers to our technical partners to other hoteliers in the industry, and a big warm welcome to our competitors that I know are watching this to get some sneaky insights into our new Customer Alliance platform. I am your host for today. I am Nick, not Nicholas, and I'm the head of product and AI at Customer Alliance. Um, there is my LinkedIn here, apparently, if you want to stalk it, but you can also just search me on LinkedIn if you want to find out more. And just a little bit about Customer Alliance before we dive into the meat of the discussion. Um, Customer Alliance is a guest feedback intelligence platform that is purpose-built for the hospitality industry, where we are combining multiple feedback channels such as centralized reviews, custom surveys, and giving that all to you in a unified dashboard with AI-powered insights so that you can make the right decisions in order to impact your revenue at your hotel the greatest and improve guest experience overall. But we're here to talk about the new Customer Alliance platform and why we did this. So first of all, we rebuilt this completely from scratch. There is no legacy code from version 1 of our platform. We did this completely greenfield, and we did this on purpose so that we could build the architecture in place so that we are able to provide more value at a greater velocity to our customers, as well as giving you the power to plug in your AI tools, as well as to enable further AI features to empower your feedback intelligence. On top of this, we also looked at our functionalities and what the core functionalities were and what feedback we got most from our customers. And we decided to just improve the UX of those entirely, from our review management inbox to our surveys, as well as to our dashboards and reports. In doing this, we also were able to incorporate more AI-powered analysis of feedback across the entire guest journey, from pre-stay surveys all the way through post-stay surveys and reviews on OTA platforms, which then allowed us to provide clear visibility into the themes and sentiment and overall performance across multiple properties, from a single location all the way through to a deep hierarchical hotel management group where you're incorporating different brands with different region clusters, that you're able to get those analytics based on how you report on them. And this helps identify where you need to place your attention first, depending on your role. If you're a cluster manager, you're able to report on your cluster as a whole and immediately see where the bright stars or the problem areas are within your cluster. Or if you're a single hotel director, you can focus on your specific location. And all of this is in one platform where we help you to capture, understand, share, and act on guest feedback. Before I dive into the meat of it, just some housekeeping issues. If you're on LinkedIn, you're welcome to put some questions into the chat on LinkedIn in the comments. We have our marketing team monitoring that, and they will be sending me the questions via DM. And if you're on our Riverside platform, if you open the chat and open the Q&A tab, you can put your questions there, and I will answer them at the end. If I don't get to answer all of your questions, I am going to make promises for my marketing team, and that we will pull out the most relevant ones that we didn't answer in the webinar and follow it up with a post and an email to attendees so that they are there for you all. Cool. So now let me swap into a live demo, and I will start properly doing my TED Talk. So here you see is the dashboard. This is what you see when you log into Customer Alliance for the first time. Now I'm just going to put this up front. This is our demo platform. So all of this data is fake. And that is why there are some empty data tables such as Survey CES as an example. And also our demo hotel is just fantastic and it only has 6 negative reviews. So I'm just putting this up front that this is not real data, but the functionalities all work the same. This is essentially the one snapshot view of how your group or properties are doing. And why I say group or properties is because right now you see we are at an HQ level, which has aggregated all of the statistics from all of our locations up. If you click in the drop down, you're then able to alter between the clusters if you have them, or individual hotels if you have those as well. And the statistics will change accordingly. But what I want to do first is I want to go into the settings page, because one of the things that we really wanted to do with this rebuild was to give you, the user, the power to completely customize how you structure your account and how the account is perceived outside of Customer Alliance. So with your guests specifically, as well as giving you the power to essentially do this all without having to wait for a support ticket or a customer success manager to action it for you. So we're going for user intuitive and easy features. So the first thing you do when you log in to the platform is you create your properties and your locations. In this, you can create a hierarchical structure that can go on and on and on forever, depending on how you want your properties to be clustered. So if you are creating a new cluster, all you do is on the HQ level, you go to add, and then you essentially choose whether it is a property or a group, so /cluster or region. You give it a name and you say add. And then this would create a cluster like we have with the DACH region. And now when you're creating hotels underneath, then you just say add, and you can say property, and then it adds a physical location underneath. Now, all of these can be clicked and dragged around. You can move them if you want. If you redo your clusters, you can update it accordingly going forward. And you can, as I mentioned, go all the way down. So this doesn't necessarily have to be a location cluster. It could be a brand cluster. If you're a management group, it could also be we have a use case with one of our customers that they want to completely separate their hotels and their restaurants. So they are using this as a hotel, and then this would be restaurants, and then they have all of the individual locations underneath. Again, fitting with the whole brand personalization that we have in place is we have now got AI brand voice in the platform. So there are 2 ways you can do this. If you already have a PDF that has your brand voice from your marketing team, you can simply upload it over here on the top right. Or you can use the guided structure to build it for you, which is very simple to use. It is click to apply or to not apply. So you start off with a tone of voice. You can then add in preferred words, forbidden words if you have any, example of a greeting that you like and a closing that you like, an emoji policy, so whether you want your brand to use emojis or not, how you refer to the property, response length by score, and this is normalized on a 5-star, so obviously it will use it for booking where it is out of 10, this would be an 8, so on and so forth. And you can select options here because if they have a problematic review, you obviously want to give a detailed response. But if it is a really good review, maybe it's just a classic brief. Thank you so much. We really appreciate the feedback. If you want to give more detail into the tone of voice, here is where you add it as the free text description. And then here is the templatized signature for the AI to work with. However, if you have more than one person utilizing the reply functionality, then we do recommend that you add signature templates for those different personas. So it could be a hotel level one, or it could be a group signature, or it could be a personal signature, such as from the general manager himself or herself. And we also have smart snippets where these are just templated messages that you can save and utilize manually. And again, on the theme of personalizing to your brand, we have also come in with a new email branding. So you would upload your logo, or you can paste a hosted image here and select your primary colorings. And then if you go to email invitations, we've given you the ability to do a completely customized HTML email invitation. If you are not technical, this is actually really simple as well. All you have to do is use a free version of Gemini or ChatGPT, and it will give you the HTML code that you can then copy and paste with the right font and with all the images. And if you scroll down, you get to see the customer preview of how this would look going forward. Again, send a name, and if you want the reply to reach someone, then you give the email that the replies go to. Again, we're going for customization, giving you the power to put your brand first, so that it's not your guests not seeing Customer Alliance, they are seeing you, the hotel, going forward. Now, all of this comes into our core functionality, which would be the review inbox. This is pretty standard. If you're wondering why the logo looks weird, it's because my laptop is set to dark mode, and so it's pulling our dark mode logo as a result. But normally it would show the correct one. Now, this is where you can see different types of surveys. And OTA reviews. So if you look here on the left with our filters, you can see the different platforms, or if it is a CSV upload, this is something we also allow, is that you can add a review manually if something is missing, or you can do a bulk upload of a CSV file as well. And you can also filter on sentiment. You can filter on whether it's replied or waiting for a reply, language. The touch point is just whether it is a pre-stay, post-stay, so on and so forth. Visibility is in terms of whether these are publicly visible or not. So surveys might not be publicly visible. Score ranges and even date range filters. If you want it to just look nicer, you can collapse or reopen filters if you want. And then the key thing here is that if we have something that needs a reply, great stay will come back from Philip. You're able to then regenerate the reply as many times as you would like to find something that fits. Philip in the back end is German, and so this is why the AI is replying to Philip in German, even though he has sent the review in English. So this is all pulled from the PMS data. Now, depending on permissions that you set, we also allow that there is a role available for front desk staff. If they're junior, as an example, their replies don't necessarily get posted straight away. They go to our approval section, where someone is then able to approve their replies or send them back for edits. And depending on your PMS that you have integrated, we also have what we call actionable issues, where is our AI has detected something with regards to maintenance or housekeeping that is deemed actionable by other team members. And in this, it sends it back through to the PMS with the room number attached if it is available, as well as the actual staff that has to action it. And this, again, you can say it has been actioned, or you can dismiss it if you want. And from there, it is available in your PMSs. I think one of the most powerful areas in the guest feedback intelligence is the survey. Now, as you can see with our demo account, we have our sales team that are testing this all the time. And so we have lots of different surveys to look at. But we wanted to reimagine our survey creation flow. so that it is as easy as possible for anyone to create a survey or edit a survey going forward. I think the key thing here that we did to make it super easy is that if you have a company-wide survey, so across your locations, that is the exact same thing, then at the HQ level, you can create the survey and it populates to every single location afterwards. If you make a change at the HQ level, it makes the change on every location after that. So there's no need for you to create the same survey multiple times at each location level. Just to show you how easy it is to create a survey, we have some templates in place if you would like to use them. They're pretty straightforward, or you can start off from a blank survey. This will then open the survey builder, where at a glance, you can see the number of questions, the rough time it would take for someone to complete the survey, and basically you just go on from there. Now, why is this not working right now? Is because we are on a parent. But let me go into one that we can actually edit so you can see the process firsthand. So this is a template one where we now have different questions in place, where you can see we have NPS questions, we have some long text questions, we have some stars that you can select. You can make things required or add in a comment field based on the answer, so on and so forth. Now, in the survey settings itself, this is again where we were asking, how can we give you the power to do what you want to do? And just for the sake of giving something I can actually click on, let's do this. So what I've done now is I've gone down to a location level to create a survey. And again, here, like I mentioned, you can create the title, you can add a description, you can choose if you want a welcome page or not. If you want the welcome page, what does it say? Adding a question is just click and go. You can also add a sub question to this, and so on and so forth. You can add another if you wanted to, and you can add any type of question that you would like. Now, going back to the survey settings, we have decided to give you the power to create a forwarding rule, as we call it. So you can add a forwarding rule, can give it a name, and you can give it a condition, and you can say the overall score is more than 80%, as an example. Then you can send them to the internal thank you page, or to a custom URL, or to any portal that you would like. And you can then say the default destination, so if it doesn't match the rule, is something else. And you can also test the forwarding rules if you want. Again, with branding for the surveys, we've also allowed you to upload a logo and a cover image, as well as change the primary and secondary colors. There is also a reminder. So if a guest has not replied to the survey within a certain amount of days, you can enable it. And you can then set how many reminders you want. And similar to the email branding at the top, in the settings page, we've given you the power to create custom invites and reminders for each survey. Now, if you don't want to create one for each survey, that's fine. It inherits the account default, which is what is populated here. But you can also edit it to have specific messaging if you want for each survey, depending on the purpose of that survey. You can also enable a detractor flow. So if there is something that you want with an NPS question, what is the detractor threshold? And then what is the follow-up action for that? You can also responses are collected anonymously, and this is always good for GDPR reasons. And then you can export the survey itself if you want to. So this is how we're kind of giving you the power to look into the survey and really ask any questions that you would like. Now, if you have the surveys enabled in the new platform, we do not limit the amount of surveys that you create or utilize. per business unit. So you could have 10 surveys for your hotel if you wanted to, depending on the audience that you want to create or the actual questions you want to ask. And again, going to audiences, I'm just going back to settings quickly. This is how you create your audiences, where you can really create them based on a number of fields that are available both in Customer Alliance or your PMS that we import across. And all you do is say add new audience, you give it a name or description, and then you start adding conditions where you have stay status is booked or checked out. You can also do country code, booking channel. You can do it ended within X amount of days. You can do it by language, and you can stack these fields on each other to create super niche and specific audiences if you have specific feedback you want. Then we go to analytics. This is probably the feature that you'll spend the most time in, where you're able to then look at how your specific location is performing amongst the different analytics that we collect. Now we have our standard KPI block at the top, and this doesn't change. It's just something that we feel that every property cares about all the time. But then we have trends when it comes to volume and rating. You can see that by platform over time as well. And then we also have the by month pivot table as well. On the HQ level, obviously, then this has multiple hotels listed. Distribution refers to how your reviews and feedback are distributed across different OTA channels. Sentiment is very obvious: positive, neutral, negative. And you can also set the thresholds of what is considered positive, neutral, negative within the settings page itself. Reputation refers specifically to the online reviews and the replyability of those online reviews. So this is why this is an important KPI here. So you would see replyable versus replied, and the reply rate per platform, so that you're really able to monitor those KPIs. And if you have competitors active, again, this is a demo account, so we only have one competitor active, but you're able to see your sentiment score and compare it against two competitors, and see how you compare overall from a sentiment level and a score level based on the actual portals, as well as categories that we collect, scoring trends compared to your competitors. And then you're also able to see how you compare on standard CSAT categories compared to your competitors as well. So you're able to see where you're doing better or worse than your competitors in those CSAT categories. Surveys are specific to survey feedback. Again, we're looking at responses, completion rates, response rates, the average score, average NPS, average CES, and then you're able to see response volume by score, and then your actual segments that you are looking at as well within your audiences. And then you can go into specific question breakdowns where you can change whether it is a review questionnaire answer. Now, we also know that not every hotel is the same and cares about the same data. And so that's why under the report section, you're able to create your own pivot tables. If you want, it's just you can click and change, so on and so forth, whatever you want. Property is probably not a good one. Well, actually it works. So then you're able to see their score of reply rate by month of the property, and you can also convert it to a chart if you want to. So August not looking so good for Berlin Grand Hotel, or you can keep it as a table, and then you can save the review, view if you want, and then it will forever live down at the bottom here. Again, giving you the power to create what suits you and your team the best. And I suppose you're kind of saying, well, Nick, you started off this talk with you built this to be AI first, but so far I've just seen AI reply generator. Where is the AI? So let me take you to AI Insights. So AI Insights is something we did have in our old platform, but we leveled it up quite a bit. So what do you get with AI Insights? At a glance, you can get the AI summary, which is just a brief kind of description of how things are going so far. You can see how things are improving, or what's improving and what's not improving, actually going down. And this is for the given date range for all platforms. You can also select which ones you want, if you only want to look at your surveys, or if you want to also include the online reviews. Now, if you want to look at the more specific categories of what is going well, this is down here. And if you click on these, you're then taken back to the review inbox with a filter applied. And you can actually see each individual review and survey response that's being taken into account for this. So as you can see, my mouse is popping up with view the negative reviews in this view. That is, say that 3 times fast. Underneath that, we're also giving you actionable recommendations. So something that you can actually do to improve guest satisfaction yourself, and whether this should be considered medium priority, a low priority, or a high priority, and why it is considered that. And then we can then look at performance by criteria as well. And then we also look at key drivers analysis. So here is where we're running a regression model in the back end, and we're actually looking at what is driving guest satisfaction and experience the most. And this is where we're looking here at the R values. And so if you don't know about R values, they range from 0 to 1, where 0 is no correlation at all, and 1 is a perfect correlation. And so anything that's above 0.7 is actually a pretty strong correlation. And so here you can see like location of this specific hotel is major strength to guest satisfaction. And so that's something that maybe should be highlighted a lot more on online channels to kind of increase that aspect. Now, something that is new is that we are adding in a competitive summary to our AI insights. Now, here you're able to then see, based on your competitors' online reviews, as well as your online reviews and survey feedback, what they are doing better than you, or what you are doing better than them. And so in this example, competitors' Wi-Fi is better than your Wi-Fi, whereas you are a better value for money than your competitors. So you can see here that's a correlation of +9.3 versus the competitors of 0.4. And you can see that for each category. So this is extremely powerful, we feel, in terms of benchmarking your locations. And again, you can change it to be competitor specific or all competitors. To me, this is probably the most powerful feature, as this is truly guest feedback intelligence, where we are taking the qualitative and quantitative and combining it into an easy to understand and shareable insight that you can then take to other team members, to operational staff, to HQ executives, and show them what is happening at the location. So it's both diagnostic and evaluative, and in a sense that you can diagnose problems a lot earlier, or you can evaluate whether, after you've implemented something, whether it is having an impact or not. And we have some other aspects to the platform that I won't go into too much detail, such as website widgets, where you can, again, display your review scores and reviews on the positive on your website. And this goes into also a certificates page. Now, certificates pages are actually extremely relevant right now when we look at AI search visibility, because AIs don't scrape JavaScript, and most website widgets are made with JavaScript. And so this is why we have our certificates page, and it is indexed, and it is indexed on Google as well, so that AI can scrape the certificates page and get your review score and review comments from the certificates page and incorporate that into its output in AI search visibility. So again, extremely important in this new way of searching for hotels and travel. Guests is where you'd manage your PMS guests. So you can see here we have Peppa Pig, and we can see everything that the PMS sent through about Peppa Pig to us. Competitors is where you can add competitors and manage them. And then alerts is where you can create alert rules for your business, whether it's an NPS drop or a specific portal drop or negative mentions. We can configure these to be emails that come from the Customer Alliance platform, or you can use a webhook to then send it to any other tool that you might want. So you can use the webhook and combine it with N8N or Zapier as an example, and then you can get the notification in Slack or Teams. It will just pop up instantly, or any other tool, whether it's your PMS or anywhere else that you're currently spending most of your time. And this goes into our API, where we are saying that everything that you see here in the Customer Alliance platform is available via our API. We're not gatekeeping your data in any way, shape, or form. In fact, we believe that you should have access to all of your data, no matter what tool you're working in. And so this is why we've created our Open API version 4, where everything is exportable to BI tools, other tools in your operational tool chain. Really, wherever you need the data, you can have the data. It will be there. And that is as much time as marketing will allow me to spend on the live demo, because there are potentially questions, and I have been talking nonstop for 32 minutes. So let me go into Riverside quickly and let me show. So David from the marketing is sharing a lot of things from LinkedIn, so I will just show them on the screen, and it's not David asking all of them. So is it possible to create several survey for on-site use? Yes, Christoph, yes, you can create as many surveys as you want. You can display them using QR codes if you want for on-site use. So we have a QR code generator within the backend that you can just print out and display. Alternatively, we also give you the power, as you saw with the bulk upload. If you are looking for a more old school feel and want paper surveys, you can also just import them via CSV scans. Or alternatively, if you want to use another tool and build it into your analytics, then you can just also import that as well. So this is a follow-up question from Christoph. Is there an instant mail collection that's real-time feedback? Christoph, this is really up to you. Like I said, we're not limiting you at all. Your imagination can run wild. Right now, we have a customer that has incorporated our surveys into their Wi-Fi login. And so every day when guests are logging into the Wi-Fi, they're able to get in-stay feedback that is then actually actioned pretty quickly on their site with their PMS integration. So they're able to see very quickly whether someone waking up in the morning, logging into the Wi-Fi that time, had a bad night's sleep because the aircon was super loud, then already there is a maintenance ticket ready and waiting for them to come in and check later in the day to fix the air conditioning. I see David is also potentially putting more in the chat. But I think that is it for now. Oh no, there's 2 new questions. Okay, cool. This is probably the question everyone wants to know. Is this new version of Customer Alliance available for all clients or all the clients? And when do we get access? So, Sine, I hope I'm saying that right. The platform is available for all Customer Alliance customers. However, we are phasing in a migration for existing customers because we don't want to lose your data. And so we will start to email existing customers from the 31st of August with your specific migration date. And you will then be migrated within 2 weeks of receiving that email onto the new platform. We're expecting all customers to be fully migrated by the end of November at the latest, maybe the first week of December if there are some more complicated data requirements on your side. Yes. Andreas, this is being recorded, so yeah, no problem there. Will it soon be possible to read and answer the reviews on a smartphone? David, yes, this is something we are going to be working on. Like I said, this new platform has allowed us to be a lot faster in implementing your feedback into how the platform should be utilized by you and your team. Feedback that we got often was that the tablet version or the smartphone version was not very usable by front desk staff. And I think as we're moving away from laptops or computers being at the front desk, this is something that I will be really focusing on making it usable in its full functionality, no matter what the interface is going forward. And Andreas, should we ask our market manager when can the new tools be rolled out to our properties? Yeah, you're more than welcome to reach out to your CSM and they can give you an indication of when your scheduled migration date is. And you can ask them to motivate me in some way, shape, or form to move it up if it's something that you would really like. We are currently finishing up our beta tester cohort right now, is making sure ironing out all those little pesky bugs that always come into play when you are launching a new platform. And we're hoping to finish that up this week. And then we will be asking the CSMs to start communicating to their accounts the next steps. Erkan, which packages will provide these services? Our current standard packages, this one. So we have our 3 packages on our website, Core, Standard, Pro. And the basic distinction between them is that Core is just online reviews and the analytics associated with online reviews. Standard is where you are starting to collect your own feedback via surveys. And Pro includes the AI insights functionality in it, as well as some other aspects around customization of your platform. And then there's a question from Christina via David. Are there any changes in the customer line widget as well? So Christina, as you migrate over to the new platform, you will need to replace the widget. It's not that the old widget will stop working. It's just that no new data will be added to the old widget. So it doesn't have to be done immediately. It's something we can work with your team in the transition towards. We also are looking forward to feedback from our customers on how to make the widget more visually appealing on our customers' websites as well. I don't see any new questions on the Q&A unless marketing is holding some back from me. Cool. If there aren't any questions that come through in the next 10 seconds, then I will assume that I was just super clear and that it's all very intuitive, although that's probably a bad assumption to make. Maybe I just spoke too fast and no one understood me. But as I said, our team is available to you if you have any questions. You can also speak to support at support at, as you can see here. You can talk to support at to find out more, or you can reach out to your customer success manager as well to find out some more information. If you're not a customer yet, you can always go visit our website, fill out the form, and our sales team will get back to you within the day to kind of find out more about what you're looking for and, give you access if you want it, for a fee, of course. And yeah, I know that the marketing is also pasting the link in the chat as well. And yeah, like I said, we are aware that there is some hesitation around migrating from the old platform to the new platform, and as well as some excitement that we have this new platform and you want to move to the new platform as soon as possible. And we are going to be doing that as soon as humanly possible. Like I said, we want your experience to be seamless. And so we're ironing out those migration kinks in the next week with some beta testers. And after that, you will get your emails to find out your exact migration date. And we will move forward from there. So again, thank you very much for your time. I know it must have seemed like a lot of me talking because that's what it was. But yeah, I really appreciate everyone dialing in, and hope you have a great start to your week. And yeah, we look forward to hearing from you with some feedback on this webinar, as well as your feedback on the new platform in its entirety. I will leave it there. Awesome. Thank you all very much. Have a great week.